welcome to the Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this video, I'm going to be doing a really short and sweet video because it's about the compatibility between two pieces of NUX kit that I've demoed extensively, well, one very extensively before and one that I've done one demo of already. So today's video is going to be about the NUX Cerberus, which I've made so many videos about that I just have a playlist of them on my channel. And I'm going to put that playlist up here, right? This is a, multi-effects unit with an analog drive and distortion section, and then with modulation, delay, reverb and a boost, right? It can operate in stompbox format or it can operate in preset format, and all the controls are on the face of it here. There's no menu diving or anything like that. This is an amazing piece of kit. It's actually worth mentioning at this point, I've bought this, I think, 3 times and sold it 3 times. It's a brilliant piece of kit. There's nothing out there that can do what this can do, especially with the analog overdrive and distortion, which both sound excellent. This is NUX's relatively new, just trying to get it in focus here, which it doesn't seem to want to do. Cover up my face maybe, yeah. Relatively new Amp Core Deluxe, okay? And what this is this is an amp modeler, and this gives you a selection of a number of different amplifiers, and you can use it to replace your amplifier. So this is very similar in philosophy to their previous Amp Academy, but one massive addition is this has MIDI in and out, or actually just MIDI in, I think. What this means is you can now, using Cerberus, set up 4 different patches on these switches, and every time you change patch, change amp model in this, which I think makes them a very, very powerful combination. So that's what this video is about today. If you want to see a video about the Amp Core and it's kind of in itself and my review of it, I'll stick that up here. But really, this is a really short video about the fact that the two of these work really well together. Also, the Amp Core Studio has an effects loop, which means you can interface it with the Cerberus in what is in effect just the correct manner, right? This is a brilliant setup together. Really simple, really, really effective. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, here is me getting into the audio of it. Okay, so to demo the Cerberus and the Amp Core today, right? What I'm doing is I am playing this Bernie Les Paul. It's a P90 equipped Les Paul. It's like right in the middle of humbucker and it's a good call. I use it for a lot of demos. It's really good guitar for demoing gear. Out of the guitar into the input of the Cerberus. Out of the effects send of the Cerberus into the input of the Amp Core Studio, then out of the effects send of the Amp Core Studio back into the effects return of the Cerberus, then out of the output of the Cerberus into the effects return of the Amp Core Studio, and then out of the output of the Amp Core Studio into the interface. Now, what that effectively means is, here's my signal route. I'm going in, I'm hitting the boost, the drive, the distortion, the Cerberus, then I'm going to the preamp of the Amp Core Studio, and then I'm coming back out of the Amp Core Studio into the Cerberus, and I'm hitting the mod, delay and reverb section of the Cerberus, back out of the Cerberus, back into the Amp Core Studio, past the preamp and hitting the IOR section of the Amp Core Studio, which is basically the correct signal path, right? And it's really important that, because it means that when I use drive off the Amp Core Studio, which I will be doing, it's in the right place. So my delay, reverb and mods come after my drive section in the Amp Core if I'm using a dirty amp, whereas the boost, overdrive and distortion section come before the preamp, right? So that brings me nicely to the reason that I'm making this video, okay? So I've made loads of videos about the Cerberus and why it's great in so many different ways, right? And also I made the video way back when the Amp Academy came out, of using the Amp Academy in the exact way I'm using the Amp Core Studio here, but the main principal difference being the Amp Academy didn't have MIDI, okay? The Amp Core Studio does. So what that means is it allows me to set up 4 presets here, right? Clean, I'm just going to show you clean, dirty, heavy and lead. And as you can see, every time I change preset on the Cerberus, it changes preset on the Amp Core, right? So how it does that is it sends MIDI PC command that corresponds to the preset on the Cerberus to the Amp Core Studio. Okay, so basically here, preset 1 on the first bank selects preset 1. So basically if I go back to, if I hit here, preset 1 selects preset 1, preset 2 selects preset 2, preset 3 selects preset 3, and preset 4 selects preset 4. And really importantly, I go up to bank 2, preset 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the reason I've said really importantly is that means you cannot tell the Cerberus on 1D select preset 1 on the Amp Core Studio. It only sends a preset PC message to the Amp Core Studio. You can't tell when you change patch which preset message you want to send. You can only say recall the number of the preset I'm on, right? Which is crucial, which means that you have to set up your presets on the Amp Core Studio to correspond to those numbers. So in this case, right, because my presets always go backwards on the Cerberus, because the Cerberus goes 1, 2, 3, 4, in this case A, B, C, D from left to right, but every guitar player goes clean, dirty, heavy, lead from right to left. It's backwards, okay? So I'm going preset 4 for clean, preset 3 for dirty, preset 2 for heavy, and preset 1 for lead, okay? So that's the reason that this setup can do something that the Amp Academy setup with the Cerberus couldn't, and that is it can select a different preset every time a different preset on your amp modeler basically every time you change presets. So let me just show you what they sound like. So here is the clean preset, right? It's on Bassman and it sounds like this. If I turn the volume, it's going to tune my guitar. Okay, so that's the clean preset. On the second one, you'll see it changes to an AC30 and it sounds like this. On the third preset, it changes to a Marshall, like a 100 lead, 100 watt plex. And on the last preset, it changes to a Freeman. But I intend to use this as a lead preset, so the mids are a bit pushed and it has a delay. Right, simples. 4 different sounds. You could get through the whole gig just using them if you wanted to. But what's great about the Cerberus is that you go onto the current preset. I have it set up so that when you hit the current preset number, it turns on edit mode, and now I can have that sound for that whole song if I want with a clean sound, right? And by the way, yes, my clean sound's slightly overdriven. I don't play clean sounds, so there's no point in telling me my clean sound isn't clean. I know my clean sound not clean. I don't care. It's not the kind of clean sound I play. Right, okay. Clean. Clean with an overdrive. And these overdrives are coming from the Cerberus, right? Clean with a boost. Clean with a distortion. Clean with a phaser. And clean with a delay. And because of my signal routing, which I went through earlier, everything is routed correctly so that the drives are before the preamp and the delay and reverb are after them after the preamp, right? So that all works perfectly. That can apply to all 4 presets, right? And by the way, I'm doing little things here like switching between preset and stomp mode. I have loads of videos on the Cerberus where you'll see how all that works. I'm trying to keep this video quick, so I'm just demonstrating the capacity of these units together. So now I'm on my dirty sound. My Voxy sound, right? So again, I hit this, I can have Voxy by itself, Voxy with a boost, Voxy with an overdrive, Voxy with a distortion, Voxy with a phaser, and Voxy with a delay. Right? And so on, like the same thing applies to the dirty channel. A heavy, I should say. If I wanted to play that a lot heavier, hit the edit switch, add in the overdrive and the boost maybe. Yeah. delay for a bit of lead. You get the idea. That's all I really wanted to show, right, was that you get to get these amp-based presets without having to change the amp separately. So every time I change, I'm in edit mode, go out of edit mode. Every time I change from clean to dirty to heavy to lead, it changes the preset in the Amp Core Deluxe, which allows me to select the amp sound I wanted. Now, lastly, I would say, if you wanted, you can set up the Amp Core Deluxe to have right now the foot switch, it goes between two versions of the current loaded preset. You can set it up to bypass the pedal. In which case, you could just put this on your board, and when you didn't want to go direct, bypass the pedal and go into your amp. Easy. Or if you wanted to, you could put it on the board and have it on all the time for going direct. It's a handy setup. So basically that's it. You can see that the two pair really, really well together in a way that the Amp Academy didn't, which was a big problem for me. I want to commend NUX again for putting MIDI on this pedal at €100 or maybe 120, something like that. It's a brilliant pedal in terms of functionality with the effects loop and the MIDI. It's brilliant. So paired with the Cerberus, one last thing actually. You'll notice the Cerberus only has 1D, 1C, 1B and 1A. Whereas you can use, it doesn't have a display, but you can use the display on the Amp Core Studio to be your display for your entire rig, which I think is really handy as well. So these two pair really well together. If you get some time, check them out. I think they're a really good set if you want a compact, affordable, direct to PA rig. So there you go. Really short video, really succinct, and just talking about the benefit of these two things together. If you're looking for a direct rig that's uncomplicated, and also this is about 120, these are 300, so call it 450, right? With 450 you can get a lot of stuff. This went up, you know, I think this used to be less than 300, but I think it's so popular and has existed so long. This could be 10 years old, this. It's now €300 in Thomann. And this is about 120 to 150, I think. So it's 450. It's not an inconsiderable amount of money for a direct rig, but this also works fantastic into an amplifier. And you can plug this in and bypass it when you want to go into an amplifier. It's just a really important point. You can use this for one amp model and just use the onboard effects to switch, or again, you can use MIDI to switch different amps on this as I just demonstrated. So there you go. The Amp Core Deluxe is a brilliant partner for the Cerberus, so you should check them out together. If you've watched this far, as always, I say thank you for watching. If you have watched this far and you've enjoyed what you've seen, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out massively. And yeah, the Cerberus and the Amp Core Deluxe, really good pair. NUX sent me out the Amp Core Deluxe, but I bought the Cerberus for like the third time recently. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video again soon. Bye bye.